how are you creating dangerously?
Oh, yeah. Love it. I love all these questions, really. I do. I like, my soul is I feel like I get to express my soul with these questions. And so yeah, creating dangerously is like I do it with each story, and I'm like, whatever subject matter people are afraid to talk about, or whatever type of fiction people are afraid to talk about, like I will do that. I
Mm.
will do that. And like I made a rule, like, I'm a big Percival Everett fan,
Oh
and
yeah.
big Percival Everett fan, and like I haven't seen American Fiction yet, but I want to see it. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I will, because I'm very familiar with the Erasure of the book,
Yeah.
and I will see it at some point. And so my rule was to, like, not talk about it, but like let's talk about it. Like, you know, in that movie, it's like there's two different schools of fiction. Like the writer of color has this burden
Mhm.
where it's like, are you moving fiction forward? Are you moving Black people forward, or are you not?
Mhm.
Um, and so when you talk about something that, like, when you have poor Black characters, that question is like, what are you doing for the culture? Like, is this
Mhm.
moving us forward, especially in the post Obama era? It's
Mhm.
like, yo, we had a Black man be a president.
Mhm.
This theme of Black excellence, like, we are on the come up,
Mhm.
which is all true. Like, so many people of color who are doing so many great things.
Mhm.
But again, as a public school educator, my worldview is different. Like, I'm like, yes, we have so many people doing so many great things, but there's some realities that are still the same.
Yeah.
There's some realities that are still the same. Like, I'm going to Brooklyn, and I'm seeing the challenges here. And
Mhm.
so in American Fiction, it's like um a writer's frustration with a certain narrative being put out about
Mhm.
Black people, which I wholeheartedly, my brother texted me, and I was like, I feel for both of them. I feel for,
Mhm.
the one who's writing the heady esoteric, like, not traditionally Black stuff.
Mhm.
And I feel for, the person who is writing about poor Black characters, but then kind of being attacked a little bit. Like, I feel
Mhm.
for both of them. And so now I feel like there could possibly be an environment
Mhm.
where it might be a little bit scary to write about poor Black people, because it'll be like, are you pushing the culture forward? And so the way I'm writing dangerously is like, I'm writing what's in my heart. And
Mhm.
if there are working class characters on the outs, which still I'm still that's still the world that I'm very, very interested in. I'm
Mhm.
still going to do that. Like, as writers, especially as aspiring writers, we have this, like, notion of what writing will do for us, in
Mhm.
that we think, like, we'll write something and we will be beloved,
Mhm.
and people will love it, and people will read it, and people will crown you. And that's like, it doesn't happen. Well, I mean, it happens for a couple people. It happens,
Yeah.
but for most of us, it doesn't. Like, what? And especially if you're a writer of color, you get
Yeah.
questions. You get questions, and you get, like, people who are, like, making your work out to be like a social work, and like,
Mhm.
what social work are you doing for the race? And when you write dangerously, you're just like, okay, I'm going to throw out this notion of being beloved and being crowned, and kind of just write what's in my heart.
Mhm.
And if you mess with it, you do. If you don't, so be it. And so that's the way I'm creating dangerously.